overlap.
It's so cool.
Just the way she's sitting is so human.
It is so human. You need to understand these. It's the box set.
Can you turn the spines? Oh, lovely. Love it.
Gorgeous. Rick Riordan.
Yep.
Nice. Have you read Rick Riordan?
I've read his other series. I own book 1 and 5, and I have read book 1 and 5. I haven't read books 2, 3, 4.
You haven't read the meat of the sandwich.
No, I just need the bread.
Jenny and I got one of these each based on Juliana's recommendation.
Wait.
Yeah. So
This is my pile. This is your pile.
But I'm
Who's going to buy the most books? Oh, we should have done that. Who bought the most
Yeah, we
books?
should do that. And then got another romance.
Yeah. Oh my god, wait, is that a new possibility? I don't have that
No,
one.
I've not seen that one before. I think it's an older series.
Because I haven't read any of hers.
Oh my
So
god, you have to.
Well, this is another one. So I haven't read anything by Christina Lauren either. I don't know if you're...
That's a new cover.
I read this one,
It's a new
yes.
cover. It used to have like a night sky on it, like a cityscape. I got Magnolia Parks in this very, very ugly edition.
Oh my god. Wait, I always mix up this and my favorite Half Night Stand.
Yes, same
Oh
authors.
yeah, so that one was there. But I got this one because I like
think
the
this is the one that I have. This is like Friends to Lovers, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've read this. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've redone all of the Christina Lauren covers.
And then next is Megan Quinn.
Nice.
We love a Megan Quinn.
You
one.
like Megan Quinn?
Yeah. And then, of course, because how could we leave the bookshop without some fantasy titles?
Oh
So
wow.
got this. Because I haven't, and it was funny because the woman at the checkout, she was like, "Oh, I just got the book set of the Never After series," and then I was like, "Can I buy this, please?" So Kindred Spirit.
Okay. Haven't heard of that one.
And then grand finale. Jenny said it's a 5-star
It's
read.
so good.
Really, I started it. I never finished it. Yeah.
No, go back and finish it. It's so good.
Yeah. So this is what this is what we're going with.
I mean, the bottom is yours.
Yeah, shall we split them up? Hello, welcome to my Magical Readathon TBR. This is going to be for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the month. So as you've just seen, I have been in Liverpool with my friends Susanna and Alexis, and also my friend Luce. Really good time. I brought Bracken up with me. We went book shopping. We ate some fantastic food. We went more book shopping. And yeah, it was just a really fun time. I didn't read anything. I bought books, did not read anything. So I think you've just seen a bit of a book shopping haul. I am going to put in I might put in something else later. I can't remember. I don't know. I might not. We'll see. But my Magical Readathon TBR has got 7 books on it. To be totally honest, there's not really any of the books on my well, there's like 2 books on my Magical Readathon TBR that I'm genuinely excited to get to. The rest are all fairly intimidating or just not exciting me. So I've got my work cut out. I don't know how long this vlog is going to go on for. I ideally would like to have, read at least 1 or 2 of the books on my TBR before I finish this vlog out. But we will see. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it. This is a 2-week vlog. Today it is the 11th, and I'm starting this vlog today. I am currently 66 pages into Trigger Warning, and this is the first book I have started for my Magical Readathon reading. So that's a little bit scary, because I've got 7 books that I need to get read. However, I do have 3 guild points, I can count DNFs, which is very useful, in my back pocket. I can swap books, so I can just put any book in place for a prompt. It doesn't need to match that prompt. And I can count a 500-page book as 2 books, but it has to hit both prompts. So I'm going to have a couple of potential switches in my back pocket. I have got, for my Owen inscription, the prompt is the end of year TBR, and I've got Foul Lady Fortune on for that one. And for my Owen Alchemy, I need to read the first in the series, which I've currently got Lady Midnight on for. However, because Foul Lady Fortune is over 500 pages, I might use it for both of those because there is going to be a sequel to Foul Lady Fortune. So it is technically the first in a series. So potentially I might not be reading Lady Midnight and I might double up on Foul Lady Fortune. I'm currently reading for a different vlog project, The Wind Through the Keyhole. This doesn't hit anything on Magical Readathon, but I'm reading it for a different vlog project. It's a library book and I've got to read it now before it needs to be returned. But I'm reading for my Owen Elemental Studies. The prompt is the word Earth in the title. And I'm reading The Obelisk Gate, which is book 2 in the Broken Earth series by N.K. Jemisin. I'm quite scared of that book. So I'm thinking that if I don't manage to get to that one, I'm going to just sub in this one instead. So that means that potentially I've only got 5 books to read for the Magical Readathon if I do these two switches, these 2 subs. However, I still need to get reading. So today's Friday. It's currently like 10 o'clock and I've only just got up. I haven't yet even taken Bracken for a walk, so I am having a very lazy Friday. I've got a couple of hours of work that I need to do, and then I think what I want to do this weekend is concentrate on Trigger Warning. This is, hi Bracken, this is a series of short stories. Bracken, no, go away. This is a series of short stories, so it's quite easy to read because I can just read a short story like at a time. Most of them are no more than about like 15 pages long. So I want to focus on finishing Trigger Warning, and I think I also am going to pick up Foul Lady Fortune, just because that potentially is going to fit in for 2 prompts. So I'm saying all of this. Now, ideally, I am going to have read Lady Midnight and the Obelisk Gate. I will read a book for every prompt. However, if I do find that I'm running out of time, I have got these 2 potential switches that I can make. So, yeah, I think I'm going to focus on Trigger Warning. I think I'm going to read Foul Lady Fortune. Or I've actually just thought I might instead read Lies Like Poison, because that's a YA thriller that's not going to take me very long to read at all. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on Trigger Warning, and then I'm going to read Lies Like Poison this weekend, because at least then I'm crossing something off. I am completing some books and I'm getting somewhere on this TBR, and I feel like I just need a complete at the moment. You know, I just need to be like, right, I have completed something. So yeah, then Foul Lady Fortune is going to be like my next book after Lies Like Poison. To be totally honest, I'm looking again at my Magical Readathon TBR, and the Obelisk Gate I am scared of. Trigger Warning, I'm reading it, it's fine. Lies Like Poison, I'm looking forward to. Lady Midnight and Foul Lady Fortune, I am looking forward to. I've got Woven in Midnight for Shield on the cover. I am still desperately trying to find another book with a shield on the cover, because I'm not looking forward to reading Woven in Midnight. The only other book I can find is A School for Good and Evil, which again, I'm not overly excited by. So I'm nervous about getting to that one. And then I've got Defy the Night, which was an IG scroll. I'm not looking forward to that one either. I didn't particularly like the Curse of Dark and Lonely series by Bridget Camera, so I'm not sure I'm going to like Defy the Night either. Oh. So yeah, of the 7 books on this TBR, there's 4 that I'm not excited by, which makes me very nervous. I feel like I can't switch Defy the Night because it was an IG scroll. I've done it. That's the one that came up. I don't want to like cheat and do another IG scroll to try and find a new one. I have got the DNF option, but I am going to read Defy the Night. But yeah, Shield on the cover. Honestly, at this point, I was thinking last night, do I reread Legends and Lattes because it has a shield on the cover instead of reading Woven in Midnight? It seems a bit pointless. It's not a book that I'm like wanting to reread for the sake of rereading it. I would be I would literally be picking it up purely because it has a shield, and I don't want to read Woven in Midnight. But yeah, if you know any book at all, anything that has a shield on the cover, I went through all of so I hauled a load of graphic novels and mangas this week. None of them have got shields. Lots of swords, lots of other weapons, but no shields. Honestly, I am not a fan of this prompt. This prompt is so difficult. Hello. Wow, I look like I've got a weird parting. So in my efforts to try and read something that's on my Magical Readathon TBR, I picked up Lies Like Poison yesterday. I am sorry about the background noise. That is Bracken. I'm 94 pages through. I'm not loving it. I thought this was going to be, like it says on the annoying sticker, for fans of One of Us Let's Lie In. I thought it was going to be a YA thriller, but it's weird. It reads almost so the whole setup is someone has a wicked stepmother, actual quote, and I just feel like it's written as if it's trying to be a YA thriller that's also a fairy tale retelling. And in my mind, those two things might go together, but they don't go together in this book. They just, it's not really given me anything. So yeah, I would like to finish it. Bracken, please go away. You don't need to jump on top of me. I would like to try and finish it because it isn't very long. It is only 300 pages, if that, I think. I think it's just shy of 300. Yeah, it's 293 pages. So I'd like to finish it. I've got 200 pages left. It's not necessarily my favourite. It's not the best thing I have ever read. Yeah, so in this one, let me actually give you a bit of a synopsis. We're following, well, we start off with, there's these 4 friends, Raven, Belladonna, Poppy and Lily. Raven has a wicked stepmother who happens to be Lily's actual mother. And the 3 girls decide that they are going to kill her because she's mean to Raven. Literally, that's the reason. So they come up with this recipe of a petal of Belladonna, a petal of Poppy and a petal of Lily, which again, this is where I'm saying the fairy tale-esque, the names, the poisoning method. And they're going to put these 3 petals in her tea and that will kill her. I don't think that Poppy is that toxic that a petal will kill you. Belladonna is very toxic, I will give you that. But I don't think Poppy is. Lilies are poisonous, but again, I don't think so poisonous that a petal will kill you. Anywho, that's off topic. Anyway, they don't kill the mother, but Raven gets sent to a boarding school. Lily goes into some sort of psychiatric home. Poppy starts dressing as a boy and changes her name to Jack, but she continues. So yeah, Poppy changes her name to Jack, but continues to be known as a she. She starts dressing in boys' clothes as well. And I feel like it comes across to me as a bit of tick box LGBT. It's as if the author's saying, oh look, I've got a character who could be trans, maybe not be trans. I'm not going to upset the anti-trans people, but I'm also not going to upset the people who want me to have LGBT rep. And it's just like, come on, you do it properly or don't do it at all. And I don't feel like the way that she's introduced Jack as the character, I don't feel like it necessarily... Well, I feel like it works, it makes sense, but I don't think that it's done... I think she could go further. And I'm hoping that in the next 200 pages, Jack does decide to go by he, him, or does decide that, you know, everybody's going to refer to him as for her to them as Jack. At the moment, she refers to herself as Jack and close friends, but hasn't told anybody else. So it's that sort of thing where I'm just like, maybe we are just sort of seeing that kind of transition period. But it just feels a little bit odd at the moment. Anyway, so we've got the 4 characters, 2 of them being sent to boarding schools, 2 are still in the same town. It was Poppy who had gone to the police and said that they were going to poison Raven's stepmother, and that kind of stopped the plan. And then now 3 years later, Raven's stepmother has been poisoned by Belladonna. She's been poisoned by drinking belladonna tea. And they found that note that they'd already written about the petal of everything. And so Belladonna's been arrested for it. And it just, so far, it just feels very convenient and very much of a, here is a situation and then there's another situation and here's a third situation, and not necessarily like they're joining logically. And maybe everything will come together. You know, it might be one where it's bitty and then everything, all those strands come together towards the end. We will see. We will see. I should probably take that one out for a walk. Hello. I am now, how many pages through? 160 pages into Lies Like Poison. And so like I was saying earlier, it feels quite farcical, and something's happened that's just ridiculous. So again, why I tend to like YA thrillers is they're fast-paced, they're fun to read, but they still read like a thriller. You know, you've still got the police following police procedure. In this one, we've had Belladonna be arrested because someone poisoned someone with some belladonna. And now we've got Jack be arrested because there was a video of clothes being burned. Now, I'm aware this is set in America, so I don't know exactly what the laws are in America, but I'm fairly certain that you need to have evidence to arrest someone. And if you arrest someone without the correct evidence, you then can't rearrest them again. You know, you can't just keep on arresting someone because you think that they might be guilty. In fact, I think, and I'm getting this off Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you have like 48 hours to be able to get the evidence to be able to actually formally arrest someone. Yet, yeah, literally Jack has just been arrested because they burnt some clothes. It's fast-paced, but that's all I can say. The characters I don't really believe. I'm not the biggest fan of the writing, and yeah, the plot at the moment is a bit ridiculous. I'll be honest, we're probably sitting at about a 3-star, but also I am halfway through, and I know I can count DNFs for Magical Readathon, but I want to have a book finished for the Readathon. And I think I can use the guild point like bonuses, I guess, as much as I want. But I want to my aim would be that I only use each one once. I don't want to sort of DNF multiple books and double up and switch them out and end up actually not really taking part properly. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on reading, but it's just a bit ridiculous, to be honest. book 1 of Magical Readathon finally down. This book was crap. This was so shit. The characters made no sense. None of them had any motive. I guess the big twists by about page 10. This was just absolutely awful. Even the end, like... So, this seems... Do you know what? If this was an adult book, there were things in it that could have made sense. And it could have been quite a good idea, except the weird fairy tale vibe. But it's not. It's a YA. And things like... Right. The judicial system doesn't work like it seems to in this book. So I think I said this earlier. Someone got arrested because her name is Belladonna and somebody was poisoned with the plant Belladonna, so they therefore just arrested this girl. No evidence. Another person got arrested because they were burning some clothes. Not a crime. And when both of these 17-year-olds got arrested, rather than seeming to have any kind of, parental check, they both went straight to detention centre. Again, life doesn't work like that. That's not how these things work. And, all of the adults in here are ridiculously... it's very much, if you're a child, you're a good person. If you're an adult, you're evil. So we've got Belladonna, who's been adopted by Edwin. Edwin has nailed her window shut and won't let her out of his sight. You've got Jack, whose mother basically has abandoned her 4 children. You've got Lily, whose mother was torturing both Lily and Raven, her stepson. And then you've got Raven, whose father was also not a very nice person. Again, don't want to spoil anything, but... And by the end, literally the last couple of paragraphs, all of these 4 17-year-olds decide that they're all going to become emancipated and get away from their parents. Again, things don't work out quite like that, though, do they? And just because you've decided that you're going to emancipate yourself and your mum's dead and your dad's in prison, that doesn't mean that you're going to... That's going to happen within the next sort of 2 weeks. And that doesn't mean that, society isn't going to step in the meantime. So my thoughts are this book is shit. I haven't rated it. It's probably no more than a 2-star. It was awful. It was so bad. So, bye. Hello. It is 10 p.m. on Monday. I'm about to go to bed. I'm really unsure what to do, so I am up to page 162. I'm halfway through trigger warning. Because it's a short story collection, it's easy to get through. I can just pick up and read one short story at a time. But to be honest, I'm not particularly enjoying them. There's none that I'm like, that was amazing. The one that I just read was fine, but it wasn't great. Right, hang on. Let me count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 left. So I'm not even quite halfway through the short fictions and disturbances. Short story collections are really difficult as well because they're hard to rate, because one story might be really good and one story might be really crap. I'm going to carry on with this one tomorrow, but I think it might become a DNF. Also, but yeah, to be honest, even the short stories that I've enjoyed in this one, I haven't loved them. So of the ones I've read, I have liked the one I just read of Death and Honey. I liked that. That was a sort of Sherlock Holmes retelling. I thought that was quite good. I liked, there was another one that I liked. I don't know what the other one was. It might have been Cassandra, because the thing about Cassandra is still vivid in my head. Didn't particularly, no, I didn't actually really like that one. What was it? What was Adventure Story? Don't know. Yeah, this is it. None of the stories are incredible. You know, even the best story in here is probably a 3-star. So do I want to read 14 more mediocre short stories, or do I want to admit defeat and move on to something that I'm actually enjoying a little bit more? I do need to start reading, I put it somewhere here. I need to read Rouge by Mona Awad. I'm working on this one and I need to get this one read. I would like to get it read this week. Unfortunately, Rouge does not fit any of my magical readathon prompts. The other book I need to read for work is Thank You for Sharing. I'll try and put it up here, which is by Rachel Runa Katz. That one sounds really good. Again, does not fit any of my magical readathon prompts, but I ideally need to get it read this week. I keep on re-looking at my magical readathon prompts and I'm trying to decide, like, is there anything that I can change? Is there anything that I can replace and make life easier for myself? So my prompts: word earth in title. The only one I can do is the Obelisk Gate. I have no books with the word earth in the title, or I swap the book, which is a possibility. Pet pick, that's what I put in trigger warning for. I could have done pet pick on something different, but I didn't. First in this series doesn't help me. End of year TBR doesn't help me. Shield on a cover, that one I'm still looking for a different book with a shield on the cover. I've got Woven in Midnight down for it. I'm just not really excited about reading it. The only other alternative I've got is School for Good and Evil, which I'm not really excited by. And IG Scroll, honestly, I just feel like it would be cheating to do a second IG Scroll to try and find a different one instead of Defy the Night. So yeah, really, the only one I could replace is Pet Pick, but that's trigger warning, which I might just DNF anyway, and I can counter DNFs. So, dunno. Struggle Town. Yeah, I think my plan is tomorrow. I want to read, let's say if I read another 2 of these short stories. Why am I reading another 2 short stories? I know I'm not enjoying it. Even if the next one's amazing, I'm still not going to enjoy the whole thing. Decision made. Bookmark is out. I'm DNFing, and second bookmark is also coming out. So I had 2 bookmarks in this one because there's like a little introduction for every short story. But sorry, trigger warning, just not for me. DNF. Hello. Today is Wednesday the 16th and I'm stressed. So we are halfway through the month. I have crossed off 2 of my magical readathon prompts with Lies Like Poison, which I finished, and Trigger Warning, which I've DNF'd. I'm currently reading 3 books. I am reading The Wall Hidden Behind Me. I'm reading The Wind Through the Keyhole, which is not for magical readathon. I'm reading Rouge, which is not for magical readathon. And I'm reading a book on my Kindle called Thank You for Sharing, which again is not for magical readathon. So I need to get Rouge and Thank You for Sharing finished quite quickly. They're both for work. Wind Through the Keyhole is for a different vlog project, which doesn't matter too much if I don't get that one finished immediately, but other than it's a library book, so I've got to return it at some point. But this weekend, well, Thursday, Friday, tomorrow and Friday, is Becca's 24-hour readathon for her Patreons. So my thoughts, basically at the moment, I'm torn. I've got two options. I either read the books that I'm currently reading and try and get them finished, or I put those books aside for 2 days and read a couple of books from a magical readathon TBR, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. But also I'm currently reading 3 books. Do I need to pick up more books? So my I might meet myself somewhere in the middle, pick up Foul Lady Fortune, which is next on my TBR, and then once I finish that one, maybe go back to either Thank You for Sharing or Rouge, because I'm only like 10 pages into Thank You for Sharing, but I'm enjoying it. I'm about 60 pages into Rouge, and I've split that one out in 60-page chunks, again, because it's a book for work. I do that for work anyway. So I'm sort of thinking that I can get that read over 6 days easily, if I just read 60 pages a day and then move on to something else I enjoy. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet, but I'm just basically, dinner's ready. I'm basically just slightly stressed with the books that I am not reading. So there's that. I was going to say something else and I've forgotten what it was now. But yeah, this weekend, taking part in a 24-hour readathon. I don't think I'm going to get very much read on the weekend itself, because Saturday I'm going to Cardiff to watch the rugby with my friend Kerry, so I won't get anything read at all on Saturday. I might try and get some reading done on Sunday, but again, I think that will be a case of finishing whatever I didn't finish on Thursday, Friday on the readathon. I am also working this week as well, and I have got quite a lot of work that I need to get done, so I should probably try and get my work done. Like, I'm not going to be able to take all day tomorrow and Friday off to read, because I also have got to work. So yeah, all in all, I'm not feeling like I'm incredibly confident about completing Magical Readathon. That was the other thing I was going to say. One of the prompts I am quite stressed about is the word earth in the title, because I've got down The Obelisk Gate, which is book 2 in the Broken Earth series after the 5th season. That book is going to take me some time to read. It's heavy, but I found on Kindle Unlimited yesterday a comic called something like Earthlings 2, which, while I would like to read The Obelisk Gate, I have now got this comic on my Kindle. It is a backup in case I can't, if I'm like in the last week of the month and I am not going to have time to read Obelisk Gate, I'm going to move on and change it out for a comic, which is good, because I also, microwave's beeping at me, I also was half thinking of just swapping that book for a different title, but now I might use that bonus like power for something different. The other 2 books that I'm worried about, or that I just don't want to read, are Woven in Midnight, which is for S.H.I.E.L.D. on the cover. I just don't want to read it. And Defy the Night, which was for an IG scroll. Again, just don't want to read it. Those 2 books, to be honest, they're both the kind of YA fantasy which isn't a million miles off being unhauled. The only reasons they haven't yet been unhauled, Defy the Night is on my self-destruct list. If I don't get it read this year, it's being unhauled. So it hasn't gone yet because it's on that list. Woven in Midnight is still on my shelves because it's a round the world title. So it's a title from an author who is Bolivian, I believe. So I've got that one as an option for my Round the World, Read the World challenge. So again, it could be great if I read either of them. Well, ideally I'll read both of them, but they both do other things outside of Magical Readathon. That sounds weird, but it would be good to read, or at least to attempt, both of them. but I don't want to read either. Neither of them are exciting to me at the moment. I'm gonna eat my food, which I have got chicken and veg. Made it day before yesterday, and I've got leftovers. And then I have got, I'm so behind with filming as well. I haven't got anything out at all this week, so I need to go and film my second half of the year anticipated releases. And yes, I know it's mid-August. I am going to be including some titles from July because I'm 6 weeks late. But yeah, I'm going to go and film that in a bit. I might see if there's anything else that I can film. I don't think I have got anything else like planned to film, but I also don't have a huge amount of time at the weekend to film either. And I've got to try and get that video out for tomorrow, but we good. We is good. Catch you later. Okay. I am not doing good at Magical Readathon this month. Today's the 20th. Thursday, it's Sunday the 20th. Thursday and Friday was Becca's 24-hour like book-oplathon, readathon. And I thought, right, okay, I'm going to be able to make some good progress. I've got 2 books that I'm having to read for work, which are Rouge and Thank You for Sharing, which is on my Kindle. And I'm about 50% of the way through both of those. Neither of them count for anything from my Magical Readathon. For the readathon, I started reading Foul Lady Fortune, which does count towards Magical Readathon. I might make this count for 2 prompts for Magical Readathon. I'm 166 pages in. It's a 500-page book. So I've made progress. I'm doing okay, but I haven't picked it up for a couple of days because I've got, I say a couple of days, yesterday. I mean, I was away all day yesterday. I was at the rugby. And I've got books that I have to read for work, which really need to get done in the next couple of days. I'm also reading Wind Through the Keyhole. Still, not really enjoying this one. This is for a vlog project. And I think this is why I'm struggling with it, because it's a vlog project that I'm not... The first few books on this vlog project just aren't exciting me. The 2 books I'm reading for work, Rouge is not exciting me. I am enjoying Thank You for Sharing, but I am really enjoying Foul Lady Fortune. But because I know I've got to read the books for work, I'm prioritising them, which I feel is fair. So, like I said, today's the 20th. There are 11 days left of the month. I have read 1 book for Magical Readathon and DNF'd a second, and I'm 166 pages into a third. There's 7 books on my TBR. So I've basically got 5 books I need to read in the next 11 days. I can double up Foul Lady Fortune. I can use it. So this one is currently in for a book on my 2023 TBR. I also can put it in as a first in a series, because I've got enough guild points to be able to double up on books, so I could put this in for first in the series. The slight downside to that is the only other book left on my TBR that I'm excited to read is Lady Midnight, which I've got in as first in the series. So I probably will double up Foul Lady Fortune, just purely for time-wise. I would like to, I think what I'm going to do, because I can DNF, because I've got enough guild points to be able to DNF Magical Readathon, I think what I'm going to do is start Defy the Night. Well, no, I want to finish one of the 4 books I'm currently reading. Probably going to be Thank You for Sharing, because I think I've only got 100 pages left in that one. And then I want to start reading Defy the Night. I want to try and get to about either the 50 or 100 page mark and decide how I'm feeling about it. I've read the first chapter, and honestly, I wasn't loving it. I didn't like the immediate setting of Defy the Night. Seems to be a kind of medieval like setting, like a lot of fantasy is, but they had electricity, and I was like, right, well, you either make it urban or you make it medieval, or you explain how the technology has developed to have electricity, but not developed enough to have, you know, houses, because they live in a shack in the woods and they'd robbed a castle. So I feel like, so yeah, my issue with Defy the Night is I've read A Curse of Dark and Only trilogy, did not enjoy it. I didn't enjoy Bridget Cameron's writing. I want to give Defy the Night, like I said, 50, 100 pages or so, just to kind of, I feel like just for fairness, to be honest, because I don't know whether I will enjoy it. But I want to try that one, and then I might try to tonight read, like I said, 50, 100 pages or so, and then decide, am I going to carry that one on, or am I going to DNF it? And then I might do the same with Woven in Moonlight, which is the one which I'm really, really struggling with, because that one, I've gone through my whole TBR about 3 times, and I've only got 2 books with a shield on the cover. One is Woven in Moonlight, which I'm not really excited by, and the other one is A School for Good and Evil, which I'm not really excited by. So I can also, actually that's a good idea. I have again got enough guild points to swap a book, so I might swap out the shield prompt for Thank You for Sharing, just purely because I know I'm going to finish Thank You for Sharing. And then at least I've got that one. I'm finding Magical Readathon very, very difficult this round. And not because of the prompts, partly because of the prompts, because even though the prompts are all really, really good, I have not had the best books on them. I've now got a comic for Earth in the title, which I found on KU called like Earthlings Volume 2. But when I looked at it, I realised it's like a Superman comic. I do not like superheroes. So I'm now trying to decide, do I like push my way through a superhero Spider-Man, Superman comic? I don't know even who it is. I think it was Superman. Which I know I'm not going to like because I do not like superheroes. Or do I suck it up and read The Obelisk Gate, which I do want to read. It's just intimidating me because I know it's going to take me quite a while to get through. I don't know. Send help. But right now I'm going to have some breakfast. I think I should read my next, so because Rouge is a book for work, I have tabbed it up into page splits, and I've got 3 60-page sections left to read. Problem is I'm not particularly enjoying it. This is my first Mona Award, and I'm not sure that she's an author for me. I'm finding the weird writing not enjoyable, whereas I feel like if I had already read Bunny and I was expecting that weird writing, I might be, well, I'd at least expect whether, you know, I'd know whether or not it was something that I would like. I do own both Bunny and Thank You for Sharing, and I kind of still am half interested. I'm less interested now I've read Rouge, and I feel really bad because I know Rouge is so highly anticipated by so many people, but I'm just not getting into it. I don't entirely know what the story is other than it's creepy, and there's a lot of skincare, but the writing is just not engaging me at all. So I should push my way through. I don't want to read it. I'm going to read Foul Lady Fortune, because if I can get up to like maybe the 250, maybe even 300 pages in Foul Lady Fortune, I can make a good dent into this one, and that is A, what I'm wanting to be reading because I am really enjoying this, and B, it goes towards my Magical Readathon TBR goals. which apparently in my head right now is more important than work. I might alternate, read say 50 pages of Foul Lady Fortune, then go to Thank You for Sharing, because if I can finish, basically I just wanted to finish a book. Almost don't care what book I finish, I just wanted to have a book finished. So, life is difficult. Anyway, I'm gonna read. Hello, I am gonna wrap this vlog up. So it is Sunday afternoon. I finished reading Thank You for Sharing, which I enjoyed. Again, it's a workbook, so I won't go through like my ratings or anything, but I will say it is a really cute romance featuring a protagonist who is black and Jewish, and the love interest is Korean and Jewish. So I feel like it's a really important book in terms of the rep that it discusses. And yeah, I think it's out in September, middle of September, I believe, published by Canelo, and I recommend get your hands on it. This vlog was all over the place. It is very long. I don't think I really achieved anything. I have read 2 books. One was about 2 stars, Lies Like Poison. Some children outside the window screaming. One was Thank You for Sharing, not from Magical Readathon. I've DNF'd, trigger warning. And that is all I've done for about the first 3 weeks of the month, because it is the 20th, so we are basically 3 weeks into Magical Readathon, and I am not very far through. Like I said, I'm going to wrap up now. I'm going to carry on reading Foul Lady Fortune. I've already gone through my plans for Defy the Night and potentially Woven in Moonlight or Midnight, I can't remember what it's called. So I'm going to try and get some of those ones done next week. I will try and remember to take you along for the ride. And if not, well, we'll see what I've done in my wrap up. Spoiler, it's probably not going to be very much more than we've done already. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. If you have got this far, leave me a sad face emoji for the lack of reading that I have done and the DNFs that I have given out. And if you like this video, leave me a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one.